How many of you have spoken in public in the past year? All right, that is awesome. So the first number we all know, right? Women are 50% of the population in most places. 20%, that's about the number of women who are students in computer science programs in the US, and that's sort of the magic diversity number that we kind of throw around. It's like, that's what our expectation is, right? That 20% is good enough at our events, and we're not there yet, though. Only about 15% of our conference attendees at O'Reilly events, anyway, are women, which not that great. Less than that, 10% of our speakers are women. And then when you think about the corporate boardroom and company founders, that's even less than that. So those numbers kind of suck, right? How would the world be different now if Ada Lovelace had had all the same opportunities that men of her time had, and all the women after her? Does everyone know who Ada Lovelace is? All right, good. So it's really all about the best ideas, right? I mean, if we're not even equal partners in our in technology, how are we going to get out there? How would the world be different if everything was equal? And so that's part of my job now, is to help people become speakers, because that's one thing, it's one action that we can all take to really show that we're equal partners, both in technology and just in the world of ideas out there. It's something that's very important for all of us to do. And it's not just about the best ideas too. It's a great way to get your project out there and your ideas. And it's also a great way to build your own personal brand. And I'm in marketing, so I have to say personal brand at least once in this presentation. These are all, these are speakers from some of our conferences, and this is something that they tout, that they are speakers at our events and other events as well. It's a great way it's a resume building technique, and it's also a wonderful way to build your network very quickly. I mean, if I were just in the audience tonight, which is a wonderful thing, I wouldn't know nearly as many as I know now. Hopefully now I know I have 200 people here tonight in my network. So for those of you who are not public speakers yet, but want to get started, one great way to just do something on your own is to start by reading. Dale Carnegie, still the godfather of public speaking. Confessions of a Public Speaker. Scott Birkin is one of our speakers. He's hilarious. And The Confident Speaker is another well-regarded book. And then join up. Toastmasters International, again, sort of the mothership of public speaking. They're really great. The National Speakers Association is another one. They have some great online resources. And then there are actually meetups that are just devoted to public speaking. And those are great places to start. Another thing to do would be to start low-key. Just give a presentation at your office, maybe, to some of your office mates. Pair up with someone, maybe, who has more speaking experience than you. There's meetups like this one, would be really great. There's Ignite presentations. Ignite San Francisco is a wonderful organization. It's just 5-minute presentations. I'm here to tell you anyone can survive 5 minutes on stage. Another thing to do would maybe start offline. Sylvia here has her own Super Mini Maker Faire show. It's on iTunes, and she's already in her 2nd season. So how awesome is that? And then when you're ready to step up to a more formal event like an O'Reilly conference, these are some of the things that we recommend. So first of all, timing. It's very difficult for us to track proposals unless they come in during our open call for papers, so please submit on time if you possibly can. Do some research. Go back and look at previous editions of the conference and see what has been accepted in the past. We post a lot of our video online. You can see things that have been very successful. And then make it easy for the program committee to say yes to your proposal. Just be sure to include as much information as you can and answer all the questions that you possibly can. And then to speak out, just go ahead and share what you know. That's, I think, one of the big questions that a lot of us have to answer when we're thinking about speaking in public. Like, I don't know, what should I talk about? I don't know. But we're all experts at something, right? We've all overcome challenges. We've all delved into some sort of project for a while. So just walk people through a simple technique, gather together some best practices to share, or think about just a part of a program or a technique. You have to focus the scope anyway. You've only got about 40 minutes on stage, so you can't do you can't run through an entire programming languages. And then also be sure to target your audience. Is it for beginners or for advanced people? And maybe if you're a beginning speaker, the beginning audience might be the right one for you. So if you're looking for places to speak, Lanyard is a really great resource. I'm not quite sure of the fate of Plancast, but that's also one that lets you know what's going on. Speaker Match is a really great one that's a bit more formal about how they match speakers with conferences. Our big data conference is happening in New York in October. We're accepting proposals until April. We'd love to hear from you. If you're a speaker at our conference, you get in for free. So that's a great, another great reason to speak at conferences. Ignite San Francisco, I don't know how many of you know about that, but that's a wonderful thing. And their call is open right now too. We also have a lot of startup showcases. I've been talking with a lot of people tonight who are in startups, and a lot of our events have startup events, and we'll be opening our call for Startup Showcase for Fluent, our JavaScript conference, in the next week or two. So they were great. So I talk to a lot of women and other underrepresented groups, and a lot of people say, I'm willing to talk, but I don't really see myself reflected in the makeup of your conferences, and so I really kind of need to be asked. So I just would like to ask all of you to please submit a proposal and consider speaking at a conference. And it doesn't have to be ours, but that would be great too. But I'm also asking you to ask. So when you come across a speaking opportunity, think about the women in your network, think about who that would be good for, and please encourage them to submit a proposal. And then finally, if someone asks you to speak at a conference or any other public event, please say yes. I ask a lot of women, and a lot of them turn me down. So I hope, I'd actually like to practice that right now if we can. Will you please submit a proposal to speak at a conference this year? Come on. Yes. Okay. All right, okay. We'll work on that, okay. So anyway, this is me. I was a dork and I left off my email address, so it's Suzanne@O'Reilly.com. And would love to talk with anyone about speaking at conferences, especially O'Reilly conferences. So thank you very much.